What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scary Gamer and welcome back to a brand new video. And in this video we are reviewing the 10th studio album by the band Foo Fighters. Now this is their 10th studio album that was supposed to come out in 2020, but due to COVID-19 it was pushed back to February 5th of 2021. And I know I am very late. I mean, I am about 11 days late. So I'm here. I'm finally doing it. This was an album I really debated whether I should actually review or not. Not because I don't like Foo Fighters. It's just because I'm not the biggest fan of them. I'm not engaged. I haven't listened to their entire discography. So I really wasn't planning on reviewing this album, especially since their lead single, Shame Shame, that came out like January or something, it sucked. It really did. It really put my hopes just down the drain. So here we are. I decided to go through with the review, and we're going to review it. So welcome. Oddly enough, going into this album, I was pretty new to Foo Fighters. I listened to some of their stuff. I enjoyed the color and the shape. I enjoyed their self-titled album. I'm more into their older stuff than their newer stuff. So going into this album, I was kind of curious, kind of skeptical, had my guard up a little bit. You know how people are, and you know how I am. Just going into a new band, new album, and just wondering, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Who knows? And when the first single dropped, I was very unimpressed. Shame Shame is probably my least favorite song by Foo Fighters. Well, maybe not the worst, but it is up there. It's a really bad track. So when I heard the first single, which was Shame Shame, I immediately was like, I'm not pre-ordering this. I'm probably not even going to listen to it, because I'm not a die-hard Foo Fighters fan. I'm more of a casual listener than anything when it comes to Foo Fighters. But definitely when I heard their other single, Waiting on a War, I was like, I'm a little curious now. And when the entire album dropped, I was pleasantly surprised to find out that it wasn't actually that bad. It's definitely different than other previous Foo Fighter albums that I've actually listened to, but I feel like in a day of age where a lot of rock bands, a lot of musicians and stuff are trying to be the same exact thing, trying to play it safe, going where the money's at, it's always a nice, pleasant surprise to find out that a band or musician is going in an entirely new direction. It's a nice, fresh of breath air. It's a nice break from pace. But I really do think that's just Foo Fighters in general. I think everything they release is definitely different. It's a fresh breath of air. I love Dave Grohl for that. I love the band for that, because it's definitely different. It's not as heavy. It's not as metalcore. It's not as screamo, emo, new metal, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely slow and soft, but it's not too slow and soft to the point where it's not even rock anymore. It's more pop. And I feel like this album is definitely leaning towards the pop side of things, but still can come up with some great stuff to keep rock fans interested. The album is very short with only 9 songs, and it runs at 36 minutes and 35 seconds. Honestly, this album is pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I don't really have many complaints. It's Foo Fighters at its best. It's very different than a lot of the previous releases. It's a nice breath of fresh air from many rock albums that are being released this year, last year, and many others before. Most of rock music nowadays is trying to play it safe and trying to go the Imagine Dragons route. Well, this Foo Fighters album surely is a break away from what Foo Fighters used to do. It's still kind of a good mix between good old school Foo Fighters and something new, and it's honestly works very well for the band. Honestly, the only song I didn't really enjoy is Shame Shame. And even though it is kind of starting to grow on me after like 4 or 3 listens, it's it's all right now. It's just nothing I want to go back to and listen to. A lot of the songs are the Foo Fighters formula where they're very catchy. The instrumentals are very catchy as well. The lyrics are all over the place, and they definitely have a lot of that catchiness that kind of grabs you and pulls you into the album, leaving you kind of wanting more. And even though, again, it is kind of a short album with only 36 minutes long, it still gets its job done and still leaves you wanting more, which is pretty much all I can ask for from a Foo Fighters album. It is definitely a nice, very different album than their last release, Concrete and Gold, which I didn't enjoy other than the singles Run and The Sky is a Neighborhood, which are still really good songs in my opinion. I just didn't think Concrete and Gold, at least the times I did try to listen to it, was very good at all, and a lot of people seem to agree with me on that. So it's kind of nice we can all agree that this album is definitely an amazing step up from their previous release. Overall, at the end of the day, I gotta give it a 8 out of 10 rating. It's definitely above average. It's definitely not the same old rock album, but it's short. That's all I have to say. My final thoughts on this album are very positive. I definitely see myself going back to this album several times this year, and I definitely see it being in my top 25, top 10 even, maybe. We'll see. I mean, 2021 is a huge year for music, so it's kind of hard to tell where this album will be replaced at the end of the day, but it's definitely a really good solid album. And now let's talk about where I've been, because if you guys didn't catch my last video, I definitely haven't been uploading as much recently, and like I said, this album came out a little bit ago, and it's kind of like a late review pretty much. Honestly, like, I've been doing a lot, so it's like YouTube's kind of like put to the side for right now. So I will definitely be trying to upload a little bit more just to pass the time. But if I do disappear again, it's probably because I am officially moving. But until it's fully 100% set in stone official, I'll definitely try to upload a lot more. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you guys did, leave a like on the video, comment down below what you guys thought on the new Foo Fighters album, and of course subscribe if you're brand new. Hit the bell icon for notifications whenever I do upload. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.